There are moments in history that pass unnoticed by most people. Moments that seem small, almost insignificant. A gesture, a movement, a single action. But when that moment belongs to the life of Prophet Muhammad, it is never small. It is never random. It is never without purpose. Because his life was not lived casually. It was lived deliberately. Every action carried meaning. Every silence carried wisdom. Every choice carried guidance. And among those moments, there is one that continues to raise questions. A moment simple on the surface, yet deeply layered beneath. Why did the Prophet drink Zamzam while standing? Close your eyes and place yourself in Mecca. The desert air is still yet alive. The sun casts its light over touching stone, sand, and history all at once. Before you stands the Kaaba, ancient, unshaken, the axis of devotion for billions. Every angle carries centuries of worship. And near it, not far, is something that appears ordinary, yet is anything but ordinary. A well, but not just any well. Zamzam, a source of water that defies logic, a spring that never dries, a gift that never ceased. And to understand Zamzam, you must go back, far back, to a moment of desperation and tawakkul, a mother alone in the desert. Hajar, left with her infant son. Ismail, in a valley with no crops, no people, no visible life. No water, no support, no clear future. And yet, she did not panic blindly. She moved between Safa and Marwa, back and forth, again and again and again. Not once, not twice, 7 times. Each step carrying urgency, each run carrying hope, each moment testing her trust in Allah. And then, the unseen intervened. Water began to emerge from beneath the feet of her child. Flowing, bursting, answering. Zamzam, not just as water, but as a response. A divine response to effort. A lesson encoded into history. Move, and Allah will open doors you cannot see. Years passed. Generations changed. Civilizations rose and fell. But Zamzam remained. Flowing, serving, witnessing. It became part of rituals. Part of Hajj, part of identity, not just as hydration, but as ibadah. The Prophet would later say, the water of Zamzam is for whatever it is drunk for. Think about that. This is not ordinary water. It carries intention. It carries dua. It carries meaning. Now fast forward. Centuries later, the Prophet stands near this very well. People gather. Movement surrounds him. The air carries reverence. He takes the water of Zamzam, raises it, and drinks. But there is something about this moment. Something subtle, yet critical. He is standing. And that detail is where the confusion begins. Because elsewhere, in multiple narrations, the Prophet encouraged drinking while sitting. He modeled it. He preferred it. He taught it. So now you are faced with 2 realities. He promotes sitting. He drinks standing. And the mind immediately seeks resolution. Which one is correct? Which one should be followed? Is there a contradiction? Or is there a deeper layer you have not yet accessed? Here is where most people fail. They approach religion with incomplete methodology. They isolate. They simplify. They rush to conclusions. Instead of gathering all evidence, they pick one piece and build everything on it. This is not scholarship. This is fragmentation. And fragmented thinking always leads to confusion. Everything. To understand this, you need classification. Not all actions of the Prophet are equal in legal weight. Islamic scholarship categorizes them. Fard, obligatory. Sunnah, recommended. Mubah, permissible. Makruh, discouraged. Haram, forbidden. Now place drinking posture into this framework. Drinking while sitting? Recommended. Drinking while standing? Permissible. Not ideal, but not sinful. And now everything starts aligning. Authentic narrations preserved in Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim clearly document both behaviors. He drank sitting, and he drank standing. This is not inconsistency. This is intentional dual demonstration. He is teaching you the optimal and the allowable. Pause here. Engage your mind. Don't just absorb, analyze. Question: if the Prophet clearly demonstrated both, why do many people today insist that only one is correct? Is it lack of exposure to full knowledge? Is it cultural conditioning? Or is it a deeper human tendency to oversimplify religion? White right pointing back hand index write your answer in the comments now. No passive watching. Think. Then respond. Humans are uncomfortable with complexity. They prefer certainty, clear lines, binary answers. So what do? They take something nuanced and force it into a rigid box. Better becomes only, allowed becomes wrong, and slowly the deen becomes harder than it was meant to be. But the Prophet anticipated this, and he prevented it. If the Prophet had only ever drunk while sitting, you would conclude standing is wrong. So what did he do? He stood and drank, not randomly, not accidentally, but strategically, to break future extremism, to prevent you from turning preference into law. Now layer in environment. Zamzam is not consumed in isolation. It exists in a high-density environment. Pilgrims, movement, limited space, continuous flow. In such conditions, sitting is not always practical. Standing becomes natural. And the Prophet did not ignore reality. He operated within it, perfectly aligned with circumstances. The companions did not get confused. They did not debate unnecessarily. They did not create conflict. Why? Because they observed with comprehension. Not just sight, but insight. They understood the general rule, the exception, the context. This is why Islamic knowledge later developed depth, because it was transmitted with understanding, not just narration. Now step back. This is no longer about Zamzam. This is about your cognitive process. Do you gather all evidence, or react to partial information? Do you accept nuance, or demand simplicity? Because Islam demands disciplined thinking, not emotional conclusions. The Prophet did not construct a system for perfect scenarios. He constructed a system for reality. Crowded spaces, travel, constraints, limitations. Flexibility is not a loophole. It is a design feature. Now go deeper. Zamzam is not just about fiqh. It is about connection. When you drink Zamzam, you are engaging with history, with Hajj's struggle, with Ismail's cry, with Allah's response. And the Prophet, standing there, drinking, is connecting you to that entire chain. The lesson was never posture. It was intellectual discipline. It was teaching you, don't isolate evidence. Don't rush conclusions. Don't harden flexibility. Today, people argue over minor details. They divide over secondary issues. They elevate preferences into battles. Why? Because the methodology is missing. But if you understand this one example correctly, you unlock a broader principle. Islam is precise, but not rigid. Visualize it again. The Prophet, among people, holding Zamzam, standing, drinking. A simple image, but layered with meaning, a correction to future misunderstandings, a protection against extremism. Now the question has changed. It is no longer, why did he stand? The real question is, why do you struggle with flexibility? Why do you seek absolutes where Islam gives range? Now you understand. This was not contradiction. This was not inconsistency. This was precision. This was balance. This was the teaching of Prophet Muhammad in its purest form. But how many people still misunderstand this? How many are still stuck in surface-level thinking? Like this video, so it reaches those who need clarity. Share it, you might remove someone's confusion today. Subscribe now, because this is not just content. This is a way to rebuild how you understand your deen. Don't consume. Contribute. Because one moment, one action, one sip of Zamzam was never just about drinking. It was about teaching you how to think. Wallahu alam.